Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the OK Grognard Show. It is Monday, September 7th, 2020, 9:30 a.m. Central in beautiful Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. It is Monday, so it's weekly news and announcements day. It's also Labor Day. So if you're going into labor, no, wait, that's not okay. So if you are working, count your blessings. Not everyone is these days. It ain't easy. That's why we have an elderly person allowing money to just sift through their fingers as the little picture. Somebody who's enjoying the fruits of someone else's labor, or maybe their own. We don't know. We shouldn't judge. Anyway, what's going on? Weekly news and announcements. So is everybody working on their Gamehole Con? Virtual Gamehole Con 8 event submissions? That's the thing to be doing right now. What else do we have coming up? So that's November 5th through 8th. And we also have coming up in October the Gary Con Autumn Revel. That is the week after Virtual GreyhawkCon? Yes, Gary Con. Okay, that's that. Where is my information? Oh, there it is. October 9th through 12th. The Virtual GaryCon Autumn Revel. And that's over on Tabletop Events. We'll make sure that's in the show notes. And we'll also, let me pull this up here. Let me pull up my links so I have it. Autumn Revel, okay, I got that. Gamehole Con, I got that. And of course, Virtual GreyhawkCon is October 2nd to 4th. So that's the next thing coming up. Unless there's something in September. What am I missing in September? So we just passed ReaperCon. That's in the rear view. There was a 24Con that ran the last 2 days. But I was already occupied in part with running up to Cosmo Joe's 66 studio in Appleton. Little Brottenberger, and did a little painting exhibitions, and gave me a quick tour of his facility, which he's had, I think, less than a year, maybe just right around. I forget when he moved into that place. Time has no meaning in a pandemic etched world. That's a good. I'm going to keep that turn of phrase. I'll use that again sometime because it's cool. But it is worth noting that he is still working his butt off up there. He just did that Kickstarter. I think he's got a dozen to 20 tables to build all told. So game tables. So I got to see a couple of those in kind of the different rooms for the different stages of the process. And man, he's got quite an operation there. He is really churning them out, and it is brilliant. Congratulations to him, and thanks for the invite. I was glad to get up there. I got to see the wonderful Clarks, Christopher and Marcia, and of course Wendy and Tom were up there. That's Wendy and Wendy's Tom, not Tom Wam. He did not travel so far. It's pretty far, and I don't think he I don't think he travels that far. I think the farthest he might go is Gamehole Con, except when he goes out to Colorado to see family, of course. That's and trains. And I'm not gonna rank those for Tom Wam. Family trains, family trains. I think family's a little higher, but it's got to be close, right? And let's see. What else was this? Well, this is the last day to get games in that I'm going to allow people to officially count as Ernie Gygax Day games. So get those under your belt today while you've got the chance. Castle Entertainment has a event up tonight. Oh, Benchley Dale and Beyond has been cranking out the Sunday games. Today at 1 p.m. Eastern, Team Bravo enjoying the nightlife in the wheel. Oh my goodness. This weekend, Benchley Dale and Beyond. I think you can go to the Benchley Dale and Beyond Facebook group and get links to where to go to watch the fun and excitement. He's got an Alpha team and a Bravo team. Alpha team was last night, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. 1 p.m. Eastern, so noon Central today. Team Bravo is enjoying the nightlife in the wheel. So if you want to go check something cool out, do that. The Steel Spires tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. And I always do the conversion to stick it in my own brain. On twitch.tv/Castle Entertainment. That's CASL Entertainment. That's his Twitch channel. Carlos and Amanda Rue are doing a World of Greyhawk campaign adventure. Always a treat to join them on the Castle Entertainment website or Twitch channel when they're running games. So be sure and do that tonight if you have a little free time. You'll probably see me hanging out in there. What else did we do? If we go back as far as last Wednesday, we get to the actual Ernie Gygax Day. And a lot of us masked enjoyer party goers were over a little outdoor event over by Ernie and Donna for Ernie's birthday. And ostensibly also Tom's birthday, which was late August, but kind of got combined a little bit with Ernie's little get-together. Wonderful people there. Chris Brown, of course, came over from Slade's Corner. He does that fun podcast interviewing local gamers, those that have recollections and those that are even newer, because gaming Lake Geneva style is not all about gaming old school. There are lots of 5th edition players and war gamers and board gamers and people of all stripes, game-wise, all genres, playing games. And in and around Lake Geneva is, as I recall from my days managing the store before it closed last March, I miss being around people all the time, gamers in particular. It is a real shame that we're dealing with it, but it is what it is. We'll get through it. Just waiting for 6 green lights on the Badger Bounce Back program. And then we can start hosting events at the game store again and reopen with all the flourish and excitement of a brand new day. This November will mark 10 years for Lake Geneva Games. I guess we've got to call this. You know, if a store closed for remodeling, I don't think you'd take it off their time open. But it's been, in just another week or so, it'll have been, let's see, 26th, 25th, 24th. In another 2 weeks, it will have been 6 months since the game store had to close. So that's quite some time. Let's be serious. But this November would have been 6 months. Interestingly, and good morning, Lost Nomad. How you doing? And it's so the day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday as it's known in shopping circles, would have been the grand opening in 2010 of Lake Geneva Games. But it was really open a few weeks before then. It's just kind of a soft opening. Might as well have the lights on and the register available while you're sorting out the this and the that, while you're getting things up and running, while you're not quite completely settled in, but you've got enough done that you can greet people. And, you know, let's face it, not super busy. And in fact, he was particularly surprised, and I'm talking about Jason here, how slow it is and was traditionally at Lake Geneva Games around that time of year. It's gearing up to the holidays. Weirdly, the theory was, of course, that not being in a college town, that Lake Geneva Games was one of those stores that kind of flipped the script. Whereas a lot of game stores are busier fall, winter, spring, Lake Geneva Games always was busier. In all through the 4 years I was there, it's still busier than in spring leading up to summer. Mainly summer is huge, and then into fall, and then more quiet in the winter. Although it's gotten better. It's not more spread out, but there's definitely a lot more business in those winter months than there was when I first started there. If you're in the area, Next Door Pub wants everybody to know that they are open for business today, and happy Labor Day to everybody. They are going to be closed on Tuesday this week for parking lot seal coating. So go today. Don't count on going tomorrow, because you won't be able to drive into their parking lot, and therefore will not be able to enter the building. So they're going to be closed on Tuesday. I'd have guessed that people would game more when it's cold outside. That's so true, Mark. Lost Nomad. Very, very, very true that in most places that seems to be the case. But here in upcoming conventions and more. But when you think about it, what are the big convention seasons? You've got Gen Con in the summer. You've got Origins. You've got Nexus starts the summer off in June. Origins in July, right? August is Dragon Con's kind of the tail end of the quote-unquote convention season. And that's just this weekend, right? I think it's a virtual Dragon Con this year, but aren't they traditionally Labor Day weekend? So now Gamehole Con's pretty big, and that's in November, early November, first weekend of November. But most of the biggest conventions take place over the summer. In large part because that's when folks are mostly out of school, and that younger demographic is definitely the target for a lot of gaming and comic and other such type conventions. So having that demographic available to come to your convention is a big deal, I guess. Anyway, that's pretty much the upcoming conventions for us online and such. Oh, I need to announce that the GaryCon badge went to Larry Hamilton of Follow Me and Die fame. It couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. He's had a tough year of it, so I think it's particularly good that that he was able to get a little something for the effort. He's a good man, Larry. He'll probably run some games too. He's not shy about DMing for sure, and he's a first edition DM primarily, so look for his stuff. If it was a face-to-face convention, he would probably be DMing his Follow Me and Die card game, which is a treat. We'll have to see what happens with that come next March. If we can get GaryCon to happen again, hopefully he'll be there and being able to break it out. Hey, good thoughts go out to Larry, of course. Had a little surgery this summer. We'll send some good vibes the way of our irascible Eric Tenkar. And while we're at it, we should probably also include Old Man Grognard himself, Glenn Hallstrom, who is recovering from surgery himself. I'll tell you, this has been the summer of surgeries for a fair number of old-timers. And I'm not talking about the oldest timers, but guys more my age or just a bit younger than me that are still part of that old-timer pack. And between Larry and Glenn and Eric, I don't think you'd find a wider spectrum of attitudes about gaming and just general life outlooks than those three right there. And yet, all good old-time gamers who will sit at a table and roll dice together, and I think there's a lesson to be learned from that. Wizard of Id comic strip. I'm just going to read it. So in the first picture, there is the king sitting near a table with a crystal ball on it with a woman on the far side. And he says, "Am I destined to go down as the most hated thing in history?" And he glances into the crystal ball. And in the next frame, he's walking out of the tent and saying to his minion, "I am until something called Nickelback." That's right, a Nickelback joke in a Wizard of Id comic strip. That, my friends, is a new low, even for the Wiz. So I tell you what, I think we got everything covered here. Lost Nomad, we got you on the list of people that have joined us and chimed in during the chat. So you're all set there. And we're all set here. And I'll tell you what, I think we got all the announcements out of the way. And what are we at? 20 minutes? I don't know. We got any questions from the Lurkarooskies? Lost Nomad, how about you? You chimed in already, so you got something? Any questions to ask? Any first edition Dungeons and Dragons questions? Excel 809 says he's offline. He popped into our chat for a second. He looks like a real person too. I always double check, make sure I'm not looking at a bot and thinking they're a live individual. But you never know in this day and age. Anytime I get any of these bots, I just ban them and block them. Of course, once they're in your channel, they can sit there for a while. But at some point, they get bounced out of the channel. I don't know if their server goes down and then they'd have to rejoin if they wanted to. They're just absorbing information, using it to build some sort of database about people's Twitch habits or something. But I don't like them in there, so I just ban them and block them. And since I don't do Streamlabs, I'm not putting any of my own bots in there. I'm not giving any real estate up for Streamlabs. It's enough for me just to have a pile of links at the bottom. Every now and then somebody subscribes to the channel, but no, I checked the other two. Lost Nomad. I know that Flask and Let's Do This Streamer are bots. Bloodluster. That's a new one. When did you get in there? You snuck on in. I tell you what, if you click on them, see, that's a real person. There we go. Well, there you go. We get some real folks in here today, huh? Nice. Lex Fire, how you doing there? Just caught me finishing up and figuring on shutting down a little early today. When are the dates for GameholeCon and for virtual game sign up? I just made all the announcements about all of the various conventions. So I went to the websites and read off the information and stuff. But GameholeCon is the 5th through 8th of November. That's okay, buddy. Hey, it's tough to take time to. You're here most mornings. It's tough to take time out of the middle of a morning to go see a show, to go listen to a stream. I do it in the morning because it's convenient for me. And when we get to the point when, I think that the submission dates for games for GameholeCon run pretty long, like up to a week before they actually have the show on the 5th through the 8th of November. So I don't think there's actually a big rush as far as getting them in on a deadline. However, the sooner you get them in, the sooner they're available for people to sign up. And that's really the thing you want to think about, is how quickly can you fill up your table, your seats. So, the sooner you put something together, even if it's not completely polished, as long as you've got the information, make sure you say what level it is, what system it is. Make sure you say whether or not there be pre-gens, or if somebody should bring a character, although I highly recommend having pre-generated characters provided. Don't say available. Say provided. You don't want somebody bringing a scenario busting character and talking you into letting them play that, because I mean, maybe they'll have fun, and that's great. You want everybody to have fun. But what if everybody else at your table doesn't have fun because somebody brought some crazy character from their home campaign? Now, you want pre generated characters provided and have them ready. Now, you can have 10, 20 characters, even if you're only having 5 players, and give them options, although I'd suggest that's a bit excessive. I usually create 6 or 7 and have when I'm having like 4 or 5 players, and that way I've got a couple of spares, and it gives people somewhat of a choice. And then if somebody trips and falls on a spike and dies, or something crazy happens in the first hour of a 3.5, 4 hour session or whatever, then I just give them one of the other pregens that hadn't been chosen, or give them a choice between what's left and say, all right, you come running up from behind. Because I don't want somebody sitting there for 2 or 3 hours having died early. Now, if they were reckless, I let them know I've only got this many pregens left, so try not to get yourself killed so fast. But still, it's accidents can happen. Saving throws can get failed. In fact, it can make it a much more exciting game when when the whole group realizes that characters can die even in this one shot. You're not being read a bedtime fable, and we're not gonna. And they lived happily ever after 3 hours from now. It's a little more than that. You can do everything right, and fail save is all it takes. So true. Uh, they'll have the organized games. They'll have the events all up on their website for GameholeCon. Um, virtual Greyhawk Con in early October, and the week after, virtual Autumn Revel, which is a GaryCon fall thing, are both being done through tabletop events. And that too will have all the events up ahead of time, and they'll have a date where there'll be a mad scramble for people to sign up. And then afterwards, they'll be able to continue to sign up through, just before the convention starts. Maybe even during. I don't know. GameholeCon, on the other hand, does things all through its own website. So it has a dedicated signing up system. But they do things the same way. They'll have a date, and they'll tell you when it's coming up, and there'll be plenty of notice. Just go to their site, look up on their front page, and all that information will be there. Have the dates for the con, when we can sign up for games, how far in advance. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know when GameholeCon will open up event registration. But it behooves you to have your events submitted before then. I know you'll still be able to do so even afterwards, but that big surge of people coming in, you'll fill up your events pretty quickly if you're there when event registration opens up in the first place. And even if you just get a few and you still have a couple open seats, those will get filled up down the line. But it's good to be ready. It's good to be ready. Anyway, looks like we're hitting that time, so I am going to say thank you to everybody who is in the stream chat and for following the channel. Beautiful Labor Day here in the wonderful town of Lake Geneva. As we were just talking about, get your virtual GameholeCon events submitted. The sooner the better for your own sake. Tomorrow, cartography and world building. On Wednesday, we'll do campaign discussion. GMing tips on Thursday. Building adventures on Friday. GM reviews on Saturday. On Sunday, it's a rules retrospective. And then we're right back around the horn to weekly news and announcements next Monday. If you're catching up on this on YouTube, thank you very much. Please do subscribe to the channel and give us the old thumbs up. Maybe make a little comment. And thank you very much for being part of it, LexFire22, and you as well, Lost Nomad, and everybody who's catching up with us through YouTube and Twitch. I do greatly appreciate it. We will catch you soon. Next time, 9:30 a.m. every day, Central, from the OK Grognard Show in beautiful Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Bye-bye.